coming into your space and settling into a comfortable seated position. So we're going to continue on with our theme that we had last Wednesday around raising our vibration. So I've got a few more ideas on how we can do that. We might begin with coming into a child's pose, which is a really lovely nurturing pose. So coming into a position with your feet together and your knees apart, and slowly lowering your body down to the mat, walking your hands forward. Bringing your head down towards the floor, feeling that lovely stretch through your lower back and up into your upper back. Taking some deep breaths and feeling the floor beneath you, supporting you. Feeling your feet and your hands against the floor. Scanning through your body, noticing any areas of tightness. Without judgment, just knowing they're there, acknowledge them, and exhale into that space, into that part of your body, just releasing that. Notice how your mind is, and leaving behind the busyness of your morning. In our theme today around raising your vibration, vibration is a fancy way of saying or describing our overall state of well-being. And our well-being is made up of different energy fields, physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual. And each level has a vibration frequency which combine to create our overall vibration or well-being. And we all know that we can operate at a high vibration or a low vibration. If your vibration is low, it'll be evident. And it's simply a matter of being aware of your situation and working to rectify it. When your vibration is high, there's a beautiful sense of living in the flow. You have inspiring people around you and you jump out of bed in the morning optimistically. Things progress well in business. Some of the ways that you can raise your vibration are things like reading inspiring quotes, getting creative, taking deep breaths, a smile, telling someone how much you appreciate them, hugging someone, spending time in nature, listening to music that you love, stretching, moving, using essential oils. All of these things can help to raise your vibration. So how do you feel today about your vibration? And can you bring any of these things into your way of life to help you raise your vibration? Taking a few more deep breaths. Just feeling the nurturingness of this pose, this child pose. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for being here for yourself and also for each other. As we work together on our yoga, we create a better vibration for ourselves and each other. Today's practice will be energetic to try to get you to warm up a little bit and get your blood pumping. So we're going to come back up to a sitting position. So today's practice will have some nice shoulder movements and some releasing of the lower back to help you, each of you, with those areas. Let's begin our practice to clear our pathway with an Om. So we'll start with a deep breath, and you can join me but you don't have to. So breathing in and then let the breath go. And another breath in. Om. Be conscious of your body today, and if you feel you need a rest, feel free to come back into child's pose and just rest. And notice how your vibration is as you go through your practice today, and just be aware of that. So let's go into a neutral position with your hands underneath your armpits and your knees underneath your hips. Just moving our body around in a circle. As you do that, as you're going forward, noticing a little stretch through your wrists and moving your fingertips out to the side, stretching through the wrists and the arms. And then if it's comfortable for you, moving your fingertips so they're pointed back towards your knees. Just a little bit of a stretch through the hands and the arms. And then take hands back to fingertips facing forward. We'll do a couple of cat-cows. So we're going to inhale and lift our chest. And exhale, bring our spine up towards the ceiling. Rounding out our back. Continue on for a few breaths with your own space, own time. Noticing a little bit of movement through all of your vertebrae in the spine. Getting some movement in there helps to relieve any stiffness and get you prepared for your yoga practice. And then coming down onto your back, hugging your knees up to your spine, up to your chest. So rolling around, feeling the ground beneath you. A nice massage through your lumbar spine. And coming back the other way. And then bringing your feet down to the ground and your arms out to the side, straight out from your shoulders. As you exhale, dropping your knees to the right side and looking to the left. And staying here for about 3 breaths, noticing the twist through your spine and noticing the stretch up the left side of your body, keeping your shoulders nice and close to the ground, noticing a stretch through your pecs. Take another deep breath here. And then inhale, bringing your knees to the center. And exhale, take your knees to the other side and look to the right. Staying here for 3 breaths. Again, noticing that twist. You might feel a little bit different on this side. Bringing your shoulders to the ground, your knees to the ground if that's comfortable for you. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center. Hug the knees to the chest as you exhale, squeezing all the air out of your lungs. Inhale as you take your knees away from your body. Just breathing in and out. And then coming back up to a seated position with your legs out in front. We'll do a couple of seated forward folds and Apanasana. So we're going to inhale, lifting our arms, and exhale, gazing at our toes, bringing our arms forward. We're going to hold here for about 5 breaths and just noticing how that feels through your lower back. So you're gazing at your toes. And then inhale, bring your arms all the way up. And we're going to take our legs out a little wider, coming up onto your sit bones, lengthening through the spine. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up, and exhale, fold forward. This time you'll notice a little bit of a stretch through your inner thighs as well as your lower back. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then inhale, coming up. And we're going to fold the left leg in towards the right leg. Come up on your sit bones, lengthening through the spine, and then exhale as you fold forward down the right leg with your gaze at your toes. If you can reach your toes, you can pull those toes back towards your body. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. And then inhale, coming up, and we'll swap over to the other side. So left leg out straight and right foot tucked in towards the inside of your left, coming up onto your sit bones, nice tall lengthen through the spine. Inhale, lifting our arms up, and exhale as we come forward. You might find that this side is feeling a little different to the left if you're a bit tight on one side or the other. If you can reach through your toes, you can pull them back towards you. Otherwise, just having your hands on your shins, taking 3 deep breaths here. And 1 more. And let's come back to our first position. So Paschimottanasana, where we have our feet straight out in front of us and we're folding forward. And this time, hopefully you will find that you've got a little bit more movement in your spine and through the back of your legs. Just stay here for 3 breaths. On each exhalation, bringing your chest a little bit closer to your legs and gazing at your big toes. Good. And then coming up into all fours, we're going to do some shoulder openings. Okay, I know that Penny had a little bit of tightness through her shoulders, so let's give that a little bit of a stretch. So we're going to have our hands underneath our armpits and our knees hip width apart, and we're going to inhale. We're going to lift our left hand up towards the ceiling, so eyes on the left hand. So inhaling, lifting that hand all the way up, feeling that stretch through the chest, and then exhale, bring that hand underneath the right and hover. It's really stretching through that left shoulder, and then inhale all the way back up. Follow the hand with your eyes, and exhale, bring the hand back under your right again, hovering just above the ground. Hands, your eyes on your hand, so you're feeling that nice stretch through the left scapula. And this time we're going to inhale, bring it all the way up, and then exhale, bring it back down, and take your shoulder and your ear towards the ground, moving your right hand forward. So coming into a deeper stretch, we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So feeling that deep stretch through the left scapula. One more breath here, and then coming back up to neutral position. And we're going to go to the other side. So this time we're looking at our right hand and inhaling as we lift that right hand all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring it all the way underneath the left. And we're going to hover. Inhale, come back up again. Keeping your eyes on your hands so you get that nice twist through your chest. And then exhale, bring it down, hovering under the left. Really stretching that through, feeling that through the right scapula. And this time all the way up. And we're going to take our hand all the way under the left, bringing our shoulder and our ear down towards the mat, taking our left hand forward, bringing ourselves down to the ground, feeling that nice stretch through the right scapula. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. And then inhale, bringing that right hand back up onto the mat, slide the left hand back, and then take your knees nice and wide, feet together, and we'll go into child's pose and slide your hands forward, bring your forehead down to the mat, feeling that nice stretch through the ITBs on the outside of the legs, the lower back, the shoulders and the arms. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Just noticing your body, noticing the vibration in the space that you're in. And then coming back up onto all fours. And we're going to do some strength work through our hips, through chaturanga. So we're going to inhale, we're going to lift our left leg all the way out. So we're extending through the left side, keeping our back nice and flat. And as we breathe, we're going to take that left leg, that foot in the circular motion, with the toes pointing down towards the ground. Just controlling that in a big, big circle, keeping it back nice and flat. And then we're going to take it back the other way. Good. And now we're going to take the right hand off the mat, lengthening through the left leg and the right hand, keeping that nice and steady. And moving the hand towards the right hand side and the leg out towards the left. Just playing with the movement, playing with the balance, keeping it nice and steady through the core. Good. And then bring the hand back to the ground, knee back to the ground. Just give your body a little bit of a roll through, just evening that out. And then we'll go to the other side. So this time we're going to inhale and lift up through the right leg, extending the right foot out as far as you can, pointing the toes down to the mat and taking that in a circular movement, moving the foot round in a circle in a clockwise direction. Just deep breathing and keeping your body nice and strong, feeling that squeeze through your buttocks. And then taking it back the other way. Sit nice and strengthening through that buttock area, through that lower back and hip area. Then we're going to take it a little step further. We're going to lift our left hand and extend through left hand and right leg, gazing towards the top of your mat. And then bringing the left hand to the left side and the right leg to the right side. Just moving that around, challenging through your core stability here. And then bring the hand down to the mat and the knee down to the mat. And tucking your toes under, up into your first downward dog. And rinsing that out. Bring your heels down towards the mat, stretching through the back of your legs. We're going to stay here for another 3 breaths. And then bringing your knees down to the mat and coming up into standing on your knees if that's comfortable for you. We're going to do a little bit more stretching through the shoulders. So bringing our arms around and back the other way. And then we're going to inhale and bring our hands up towards the ceiling. And exhale, take our body to the side, stretching through the right side. Inhale to the center. And exhale to the other side. Good, let's do 2 more on each side. Just at your own pace, using your breath to guide the movement. Nice, and then coming back down to seated position. We're going to go into a downward dog sequence next. So we're going to do a little bit of a downward dog, and we'll also do a 3-legged dog. So it's building on to the work that we were doing, strengthening through our hip. So let's tuck our toes under, and we're going to lift up through our hips, spread our hands nice and wide. And we're going to bring our feet a little wider. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then slowly lifting up that left leg, really lengthening out through the foot, bringing your right heel down towards the mat. Taking some nice deep breaths. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. And then bending your left knee and bringing the foot over towards the right side into scorpion. And then bring that foot back down to the mat. So you've got both feet on the mat, just stretching through the heels, bringing the heels down towards the mat, coming back down, knees to the mat, into child's pose. Just give yourself a little rest here through the shoulders. You can bring your arms back by your sides if you'd like as well. And bring the crown of your head down towards the mat. Just rest here for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to bring our hands back forward again, going back up into a downward dog. And we're going to lift now through the right side. So lifting that right foot up, toes pointing towards the ground, and bringing your left heel down towards the mat. Staying here for 3 breaths. It's quite strong through the shoulders. If this is too strong, come back down to downward dog or child's pose. And then bending that right knee and bringing the foot towards the left side into scorpion. Couple of breaths here. And then bringing that right foot back down to the mat and coming back to child's pose. And we'll rest in child's for a couple of breaths. Nice. And then coming up onto back into downward dog and walking your feet towards your hands to forward fold. And then inhale, come all the way up. So we're going to do now a couple of rounds of sun salute, warming up our body a little more. So we're going to come to the top of our mat, and you're all pretty familiar with this sun salute practice now. So you can either watch me for the first one or just join in from the beginning, whatever works for you. So we're going to inhale, and we're going to lift our arms all the way up into mountain pose. Exhale, we're going to fold forward into forward fold. We're going to inhale, lift our chest and lengthen our spine. And then exhale as we step back into a high plank, or you can bring your knees to the ground so you're in a low plank, and slowly lower your body down towards the ground with your elbows pointing backwards. Then inhale into an upward dog. Keep feeling that nice stretch through your shoulders and your spine. And then toes under, pressing up into a downward dog. Then bringing the gaze of your eyes forward towards your hand and step your feet back towards your hands into forward fold position. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, draw your chest in towards your legs. And inhale, come all the way back up. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. So that's one round. Let's do 3 more rounds. So we're inhaling, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. Feel free to go at your own pace. Inhale, lifting your chest, lifting your gaze, lengthening the spine. Exhale, bring your chest towards your legs. And then step back into high plank. And then slowly lowering your body down towards the mat, elbows pointing backwards. Inhale, lifting your chest up. And exhale, tuck your toes under, spreading your hands and lifting your hips up into downward dog. Bringing your gaze towards your hands, stepping forward into a forward bend. Inhale, lift through the spine, lengthening your back. Exhale, bringing your chest to your legs. And then inhale, bring your hands all the way back up. Nice work. Just noticing your breath here. Feel free to take a little break. It's really important to have your breath in a relaxed state so that you continue with your mind nice and calm. Then we're going to inhale, bring our arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift through our spine, lengthen. Exhale, bring our chest towards our legs. And then we're going to step back into high plank or low plank. And then slowly lower our body down to the ground. Inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze. And then exhale, tucking your toes under, lifting the hips up into downward dog. And then bringing your gaze towards your hands and stepping the feet forward into forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Exhale, tucking your chest into your legs, stretching through the back. Inhale, come all the way back up. Nice work. We've got one more to go. I'm going to come and watch you and talk you through it. So you're going to inhale, lift your arms all the way to the ceiling. Exhale, folding forward. And then inhale, lift through the chest, lengthen the spine. And then stepping back into a high plank or low plank. And slowly lowering your body to the ground. Good. Inhale, lift through the chest. Nice. Exhale, tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Then move your gaze towards your hands, step forward. That's it. Inhale, lifting your chest. And then exhale, bringing your chest towards your legs. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. Nice work. Okay, so at this point, let's just notice our breath here. It's quite a hectic practice. So just bringing your breath back into a nice even state again. We're going to come down into a forward bend, and then we're going to take ourselves back down to the mat. So we're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. And we're going to step back into a downward dog. And from here, we're going to bring our left knee forward towards our left hand and our foot towards the right of the mat. So it's bringing us into a pigeon pose. So we've got our chest up nice and tall, and we've got our left leg across the mat, and we're going to slide our right leg back a little bit until we start to feel a nice stretch through the glute on the left side. You can stay here, or if you feel that you can go a little lower, you can bring your forearms down to the mat. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths and noticing this stretch through the outside of the left leg and through the glute on the left side. This is a really good pose. This pose is called pigeon pose to release any tension that we might have through the lower back area. So it relieves the tension in the left glute to relieve the tension in the lower back. So taking 3 more breaths here, just noticing how that's feeling on your body. And then 1 more breath. And as you inhale, bring your hands back up onto the mat, lifting your chest, sliding your right leg a little bit forward and bringing your left foot back. So your left knee and your right knee is together. Then we're going to tuck our toes under and take our body back up into a downward dog. And this time we're going to bring our right knee forward towards our right hand and the right foot towards the left side of the mat. So you up on your hands, that's it. And slowly sliding back that left foot. And then you can stay here if you want to, or you can lower down, bring your forearms to the mat. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So you might notice that this side is a little different to the left side. Just noticing that release through the glute area there. Each time you exhale, exhale into the glute muscle, just releasing it a little more. Just letting go of the tension there. Let's go 2 more breaths here. And then on the next inhalation, bring your hands to the mat, lifting through the chest, tucking your left toes under, lifting yourself up a little bit and bringing that right knee back next to the left, taking your knees a little wider and bringing your buttocks down to heels for a child's pose, walking your hands forward. That's it. And bringing your head, your forehead down towards the mat. Just noticing how your body is feeling now in a child's pose compared to what it was like at the beginning of your practice. You might feel a little bit freer now. You feel that you can stretch your body a little more, get a little bit lower. Just taking 3 more breaths here. And then coming forward, bring your hands to the mat and coming onto your toes, bring your feet a little bit wider apart and bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra and gently using your elbows to push through your knees, just making them a little bit wider. If this feels uncomfortable, you can do exactly what Penny's just done. So bringing your buttocks to the ground and opening out through the legs from a seated position. Much more comfortable if you have any knee issues. Well done, Penny. Taking 3 more breaths here, lifting your chest and just feeling that gentle stretch through the inner thighs. And then bringing your hands down towards the mat and stretching your legs up into a forward fold. And we'll just stay here for 3 breaths, just stretching through the back of the legs, back of the body. And then inhale, coming back up to a standing position. And we're going to go through a warrior sequence next. So we'll start with our right foot out to the side. And we're going to step forward into warrior 1. As we inhale, we're going to lift our arms and bend our left leg. So our knee is over the top of our ankle. I'm just going to come around to the side so that you can see that. So into the warrior one position. And then we're going to bring our hands down and either have them by our sides or clasped behind us into humble warrior. As we inhale, lift our chest up and take our hands away from our buttocks. And then we're going to take our body forward into humble warrior. So as you come forward, strengthening out, lengthening out through that front leg. So the front leg is now straight. We're going to be here for 2 more breaths. And then bringing our hands down to frame our front foot. If you have a block here, you might like to bring the block and bring your left hand down to the block. If you don't, just bring it down either to your ankle or to the ground beside your left foot. And we're going to go into a twist from here. So we're going to take the right hand and lift that up towards the sky, keeping our gaze on our right hand, into a twisted triangle pose. So feeling the strength through your legs and twist and opening through the chest, looking up towards that right hand. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And then bringing your hand back down to the mat to frame. Inhale, coming back up. And this time we're going to go into warrior 2. So we're going to have our arms out the front and bending our front leg, looking towards our left hand, which is out towards the front. And then inhale, bringing that left hand up towards the sky, feeling that nice stretch through the right hips, bringing our hips both facing towards the front. And then bringing the hands back to warrior 2 and stepping forward. Give your legs a little shake here. And we're going to go to the other side. So this time we're going to step forward with our right foot. So left foot is slightly to the side. Stepping forward with our right foot. We're going into warrior 1. Welcome, Edwina. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to lift our gaze and lift our arms. Our right leg's in a bent position with our knee over our ankle. Taking a couple of breaths here, squaring up our hips so they're both facing towards the front. And then we're going to bring our hands down and clasp them behind us. Inhale, lifting through the chest, squeezing back through the shoulders, lifting our hands from our buttocks. And then we're going to bring our chest forward, straightening out that right leg into a humble warrior. And then bringing the right hand down towards the right foot. And this is where if you have a block, you can place it there, or you can hold on to your ankle. Lifting your left hand up towards the ceiling, following your gaze on that left hand. So you're coming into a twisted triangle pose. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Nice and strong through the legs. And 1 more breath here. Bring the left hand back down to the mat. And inhale, bring your arms all the way up. And then we're going to go into a warrior 2 pose. So we're going to bend that right foot, that right knee, having your right hand out in the front with your gaze towards the right hand. And then we're going to inhale, lifting that right hand towards the sky. Noticing the stretch through the hip on the left side. And then bringing our hands back into warrior 2 and back down by our sides. Bringing this leg forward and giving that a nice shake. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of balancing now. So we're going to come into a pose where we're on one leg here, into a tree pose. So we're going to spread out our right foot and imagine you've got 3 ankle points in your foot. So one is just behind your little toe, one is around the joint of your big toe, and one in your heel. So just moving your body in a slight circle, noticing those 3 points to help you with your balance. And we're going to lift up our left leg, and we're going to either have it near your calf muscles or above the knee. Try not to have it on the knee. You can use your hand to pull it up a little bit. If you want, you can be next to a wall to help you with your balance. So bringing that foot into the area that is going to work for you. That's it, holding it there. And now you can either have your hands into Anjali Mudra, or you can have them out like branches of a tree. Finding yourself a gaze point. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. And then bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Bring your foot back down to the ground. Give that a little shake out. And then we'll go to the other side. So you might find one side has got better balance than the other, and you can go next to a wall if you want to help you. So we're going to bring that right foot up this time. So you can use it, you can have it here at your calf, or you can bring it up a little higher. Whoops. So spreading the toes out, finding your gaze point, and bringing that foot up to where it's comfortable for you. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. I'm much stronger on the right side than the left. So if you're finding a little bit out of balance, just bring your leg, foot down a little lower, or you can even bring your toe down towards the ground. And then bring your hands out into the branches of a tree. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. And then bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Bring your foot down. Give that a nice shake through the left foot. And then we're going to go into an aeroplane pose. We're going to get there from a downward dog. So we're going to come to the front of our mat, and we're going to inhale, bring our hands all the way up to the ceiling, and we're going to fold forward, and we're going to step back into a downward dog. And as we do that, we're going to bring our right foot forward, and then we're going to lift our left foot off the ground. We've got our fingertips on the ground, and once you get yourself nice and steady, finding your gaze point, spreading out the toes on the right foot, if you're curious and you want to have a little bit of fun, lifting your hands up from the mat and have them out like an aeroplane wing. Noticing this gaze point, taking 3 more breaths here. It's quite strong through the right leg. If this is too strong, bring your left toe down to the mat, and then bring your hands back down and come all the way back up, and give that a nice shake through, and then we'll go down to the other side. So we're going to come back to the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting your arms up, stretching to the ceiling. Exhaling, folding forward, and then step back into your downward dog. And this time we're going to bring our left foot forward. And we're going to lift the right leg up off the mat. So nice and elongated. Fingertips on the mat. Noticing the ankle points on your left foot. And you can stay here if you want, or you can lift your hands up off the mat, finding that gaze point. If it's a little shaky, you can bring your right toe down. Stay here for 3 breaths. Nice, everyone. Wow, that's awesome. And then bringing your right foot down to the mat and coming up. Well done, everyone. That was really good. Giving your body a little bit of a shake. And then we're going to come down to the mat into a seated position. Bringing the soles of our feet together and letting our knees butterfly out to the side. And we're going to lay back, bring our back down to the mat, having our hands placed on our inner thighs. Just taking a few breaths here and noticing that nice stretch through the groin area. And then on the next inhalation, bringing your knees together and hugging the knees up to your chest, just giving them a nice little roll through. And back the other way. And then placing your feet down onto the mat. And we're going to take our body up into a bridge position. So as we bring our heels back towards our buttocks, we're going to inhale and lift up through our hips. Bring your hips up towards the ceiling and bring your hands up over your head. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Really lifting through the hips, squeezing through the buttocks. And bring your chin to your chest. And 2 more breaths. Really lifting up as high as you can. And then slowly lowering your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, back down to the mat and bringing your hands back down. And resting your hands on your knees, bringing your knees up. As you exhale, bring your knees towards your chest. And as you inhale, take them away from your chest. And from here, we're going to go into an inversion. So you can choose to be next to a wall and have your legs up a wall. You can have a support underneath your lower back and go into a supported inversion like this. Or you can have a half shoulder stand, so bringing your hips up a little higher. And we're going to go up into whichever one works best for you. If you're in the half shoulder stand, having your fingertips facing towards your buttocks, bringing your elbows a little bit closer together to help you support yourself. If you've got your legs up the wall, just giving your ankles a little bit of movement. Give your legs a little shake, just have them feeling nice and light in the air. We're going to stay here for about another 5 breaths. You can take your legs out nice and wide for a couple of breaths. If you're in the shoulder stand, you can bring your feet over your head. And if you're up the wall, bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. And then bring your feet back together again. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly lowering your body back down to the ground. And we're going to go into Savasana here. So getting yourself in a comfortable position, laying on your back. If you've got a a bolster or a cushion, you might want to put it under your legs to support your lower back. If you have an eye pillow, you might like to put it over your eyes. And if you have a blanket or a warm top, you might like to put that on you as well. So relaxing into a really comfortable position in Savasana. And we're going to enjoy a nice Yoga Nidra together. Taking some nice deep breaths. Each time you exhale, relaxing into the floor. Being aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source of the sound. Be aware of your physical body, relaxing in Savasana, aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, arms close to your body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Becoming aware of your natural breath, keeping it completely spontaneous. Thinking about your intention of raising your vibration and thinking back to some of the things that you can incorporate into your life. Rotating the consciousness around your body, beginning with your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake, rotating your consciousness around the left side of your body. Your left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Moving your attention to the back of your body, your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of your right eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Checking your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth in your body. Your whole body is warm. Your arms are warm. Your legs are warm. The whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in your body. Imagining the whole body is cool. Your arms are cool. Your legs are cool. Bringing your awareness to the front of your closed eyes. Imagine the objects as they are named. A lit candle. A sunrise. A sunset. A relaxing bath. A beautiful garden, a red rose, clear blue sky, a rainbow, the sound of the ocean, an eagle, the smell of the rain. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention again around your vibration. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and your surrounds, the floor, the ceiling, the windows, the sounds outside the room, the sounds inside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Gently stretching out your arms alongside your head, stretching out your body, and gently rolling to one side. Staying here and resting on your side if you like, or coming up to a seated position. Thank you for your beautiful energy today that you've shared, raising your vibration and the vibration of the group. You can take this back to the ones you love and your community and all around, acknowledging the great work that you do here in your yoga practice. Let's close the practice with an Om. You can join me, but you don't have to. We're going to bring our hands to Anjali Mudra. We're going to take a big breath in and let it go. And another breath in. Om. Bringing your hands to your forehead for kind thoughts and to your lips for kind words and to your heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Nice. How's everyone feeling? You might have to take